Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot of protocol here, but let me start with Madame Pelusi. Yes, Pelusi. You're such an inspiring person. I want also to recognize our Honorable Maggie, Dr. Maggie Chigozi. Dr. Maggie Chigozi was my doctor. I don't know whether she remembers that. When we had just started the government, we had a small room at Parliament. I think it was every Wednesday or something. It was voluntary, I guess. You're paid, okay. She used to sit at Parliament and we would go there, and so she treated me more than a couple of times. So, Madam, you're most welcome. Professor, I want to observe really all protocols. Honorable Alex Ruhunda, Nikisoboka, Nikchasoboka. All the past speakers, please, I want to ride on the already established protocol in the interest of time. Let me first introduce myself properly. I was born in this village, down here, Maguru, Itara. I was born here. And fate can be very funny that I was born here. I retired almost 3 years ago now, and I'm a prime minister in my village of the entire kingdom of Toro. So I want to thank God for that, what you've just said, the education is an equalizer, but death too is an equalizer. I want to thank God that things can happen if we are diligent and we pursue our goals. I recently had someone talk about ignoring small fights and concentrating on the bigger battles. I want to thank all of you here who have put away the smaller considerations in your life and concentrated on the bigger issues of your life. And education is one of such bigger issues. The young people who are in the university, this is time to really let go of all encumbrances and concentrate and focus, and you'll be equal with everybody else. I had come here, I had prepared my speech in Kiswahili because I have served in Tanzania at 2 different postings for 12 years. I was in Tanzania as first secretary at the Uganda High Commission in 1990 to 1995. Then I went to other places, and my last posting before I retired was again in Tanzania as Minister Councillor in the same embassy. So I had prepared my speech in Kiswahili to impress Professor Kabudi. I know he might be online, and I want him to hear this. Mheshimiwa Kabudi, mimi najivunia Kiswahili nilichojifunza nchi ya Tanzania. Nchi yenu ya Tanzania ni nchi maarufu sana, ni nchi nzuri ambayo imejitolea kama nchi tulivu, nchi ambayo ina mambo mengi yanayofanyika kwa uzuri, pamoja na Watanzania wote kuwa na umoja na uzalendo kwa nchi yao. Hiyo kidogo, Mheshimiwa Kabudi, ndio nilikuwa nataka nijivunie hapa, ungekuwa upo hapa na sisi hapa. As a Prime Minister of Toro, I am very impressed, one, by the illustrious career and life of Professor Ntambirweki. I did not have opportunity to interact with him a lot, but certainly I think he's a person to emulate. His pursuit of equity and inclusion in education is a very noble pursuit. And I guess all of us here need to have the same trajectory in your lives, not to hoard knowledge and understanding. As I said in the beginning, let us put aside smaller encumbrances in life and pursue the bigger goals in life so that we can impact society. As Toro Kingdom, and on behalf of King Oyo, we are very proud to have hosted or to continue to host this university. I want to applaud those who have started the Professor Ntambirweki Foundation. I think the most important pursuit right now is to find a permanent home for the university. And I think you can do that. You can do that because I see Dr. Ntambirweki pursued things and changed the world. West Africa, Europe, Cuba, everywhere. I think there is a lot of opportunity for you who are going to be members of the Ntambirweki Foundation to use that membership, to use all your association with Dr. Ntambirweki, Professor Ntambirweki, to pursue finding a permanent home for UPU. It is doable. It can be done with you if you can see what the man stood for and what his dear wife stands for and what all of you have stood for hand in hand with Professor Ntambirweki. My question to us all is, you have heard the legacy of Dr. Ntambirweki, Professor Ntambirweki. What is your legacy? When you finally cease to exist, what will people stand up and talk about you? That's a very legitimate question for all of us to ask this day. When you die, what will people learn about your life? What have you achieved? What have you done in your life? I think it's important that all of us begin to see the real bigger issues in our life. Abantu batoro nito twine kizibu ekyokurwana obulemu obutaito kwikara ntumara obwire n'amaani gaitu kurwana okutaito. We don't have to fight small fights. There will always be differences between you. God did not create us the same, but we must have the fortitude to be able to accommodate one another. Have differences, but differences in unity. I want to really encourage you, especially the people who are going to be spearheading the Professor Ntambirweki Foundation, that you should think big and pursue. You will not get everything at a go, but you will build a foundation for the greater things to come. I am also very religious. I am an elder of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. I fear God and I love people. Nelson Mandela once said that a good heart and a big brain is a force to reckon with. Let us cultivate good heart towards mankind. Let us pursue our goals individual, but within the context of everyone else. Like UPU says, equity and inclusion. We should always have equity and inclusion with everyone who comes our way. Really, I don't have much to say. Just to introduce my people with whom I'm present here today. There is a lady who I call a pioneer. In Toro culture and traditions, a lady has never been appointed a prime minister. But we have a pioneer in Toro by the name of Right Honorable Harriet Nyakake, who is my deputy. Aboli, can you stand up, please? I also have with me today our Speaker of Parliament. We call it Orkurato. Engineer Mwirumubi, please stand up for recognition. We have our Administrator of the Kingdom, Mr. Tom Mugara. Do we have anybody else present here from our kingdom? Those are the ones. So with all those few remarks, I want to thank you all the people that have spoken. Like I said, I want to follow all the protocol. I want to thank you, and I want to give one singular message. Work towards a permanent home for UPU. Please start now, for God and my country.